first speakers I'm extremely excited about. We got KERRY Bannigan from the Conscious Fashion Campaign and our very good friend EBRU from Artistic Milliners, and they're going to be talking about the UN Sustainable Goals. So let's welcome in both KERRY and EBRU, and I'll sign off. Turned on. Hey, hello, madam. Good. Let's see if EBRU joins us. Hi, guys. So I'm going to leave you to it. See you in about 15-20 minutes, and good luck. And that's it. Let's take it away.
Thank you so much for having us. Hi, EBRU. Hi, everybody. Looking forward to this discussion with you today. And I know this is an audience that is very familiar with your fantastic work and the organization. For our quick fireside chat, we're going to focus on the Sustainable Development Goals and you as a leading example with an organization on how these goals can help create a real positive fashion industry. And I know you're also going to show us a video in a little bit, but before we get into that, for those that are not familiar with the Sustainable Development Goals, they are 17 goals that were adopted by the United Nations member states in 2015, and they are slated as 17 goals to transform our world. And these goals, there is 17 of them, and there is 169 targets that then dive deeper into how we can achieve these goals together. And they range from no poverty to gender equality to life on land, climate action, and really looking to address the world's challenges that we are having. And with them being created in 2015, they were looking at what was going on pre-COVID, and now more than anything, as we sit in this global pandemic together, we really need to look at how we can utilize this framework to reimagine the fashion industry as we go forward. Again, thank you so much for having us. I'm KERRY Bannigan. I am the founder of the Conscious Fashion Campaign. The Conscious Fashion Campaign is an initiative in collaboration with the United Nations Office for Partnerships. And our goal is to really bridge the gap via education and awareness and engagement of incredible partners like this event to raise awareness around the Sustainable Development Goals, to inspire the leaders and the next generation going into the fashion industry, how if we can come together, we can create collective action for good. So EBRU, ready and over to you. And I would like to start off with diving a little bit with you into how can the Sustainable Development Goals provide a framework for the fashion industry to strive towards a better and more sustainable future for all. And let's also look at why now more than ever this is so important.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. I want to thank to Andrew, Ola, Mohsin, and of course, our lovely lady, KERRY Bannigan. Good morning from New York. And well, I can tell you, I missed London a lot. And last time in February, we were all together in Ravensbourne University, and we had an amazing, fantastic project all together. I'm definitely looking forward to do it in 2021. Again, we're so proud to be partners with this project. So KERRY, thank you so much again having me. Yes, as you have already mentioned, the United Nations is calling on the fashion industry to help to achieve its sustainable development goals, which includes relevant topics as you have already mentioned, ending poverty, talking about zero hunger, quality education, and also better practices for our planet, society, and for the future generations. So let's talk about first the size of our industry. So according to McKinsey reports, which is a very valuable research company, and also UN Fashion Alliance, the fashion industry worth $2.4 trillion US dollars, and it employs 75 million people, and majority of them are women, and it's also growing by time. And the other information regarding our industry is it is responsible almost between 8 to 10% of the greenhouse gases. And the other thing is 20% of the industrial wastewater pollution worldwide originates, unfortunately, from our industry, because our industry is the second largest polluting industry worldwide. And when it comes to the value, almost like $500 million of value is lost every year just because of the clothing underutilization and also lack of recycling. So from the people, I mean, we're all fashion, let's say, fashion professionals, and also the future denim generation. But on the other hand, anybody on the streets, we're all related to fashion, right? Because it is undoubtedly one of the largest industries. The second thing is it has a very high substantial impact across all dimensions: economic, environmental, and social, as all pillars of generic pillars of sustainability. It is very influential. It is very influential. And now currently with the social media and generation Gen Z's influence, it is extremely important for our industry. And also thinking about post-COVID, now it is becoming much more relevant to what we have been talking today. Well, of course, United Nations is working with non-profit organizations or government agencies, but on the other hand, with the participation of the private sector, nothing can be done. We are much more needed to help United Nations, and then we have to be in a great collaboration with the government agencies and also NGOs. And it is definitely time call for action. The call for action to protect the planet, to ensure that all of us, we're having a peaceful and a life with prosperity. So definitely UN sets up a transformational view for all of us. And this is the last decade to approach to our UN 2030 agenda. Yes, just because of COVID, we're a little bit delaying. Some of the research is showing that it is almost like 62 years. That means we have to work even harder than we have been working before pre-COVID. So apart from we're all related with the fashion industry, we have to create awareness about sustainable consumption, because the research shows that compared to 1970s, currently the consumption is up to 254% more, which is like crazy. So we have to really think about that. So definitely UN 2030 agenda and all the SDGs, all the relevant SDGs, key performance indicators, they are all relating this to sustainable consumption. And SDG 12 is the most relevant one here, of course, connected with all the other ones around it. At the core of the fashion, there's a connection with the SDGs, which is the promotion of the sustainable consumption. So now we're going to be talking about it a little bit more. And of course, Sustainable Development Goals is offering us an opportunity to use this as a tool. It's a fantastic tool. It's not a risk assessment tool. It is also a tool that we can also improve our talents, improve our production algorithms, how to come up with better solutions, innovative solutions. And trust me, right after when we have been doing presentation to our customers, the first one is, now we're not traveling anymore. We're doing all our presentations, thanks to Kingpins as well, virtually. So even, we started with the carbon footprint, or kind of decreasing our carbon footprint. And of course, because now we're talking with the future generation of the fashion, there have been 75 million people working in the industry. And now there are more newcomers, and all of us, we have to be helping each other to understand better, not only the production algorithms, but also how we can make it more in the ethical way that will help the future of the humanity. And it is time to walk the talk. That is why sustainable design strategy should be considered within this framework, and our responsibility as a vendor, as a vertical vendor, because Artistic Millionaires is not only a fabric mill, it is also a garment manufacturing mill. It's a huge, huge facility. That is why our responsibility is doubled. Here, our responsibility to help the future fashion designers and future fashion professionals, how we can come up with solutions in production and also in the societal, let me say, patterns with better practices. Sorry, I think it's a bit long, but I want to cover everything.
No, this is great, and actually leads me to, you know, Artistic Milliners holds the Sustainable Development Goals at the core of the company's DNA. And I know that there's a lot, and I'd love you to show the video actually in a second, how the company is actually aligning to all 17, which for those that are new to these goals, that is not something that everybody has to start off and do. It's like you should pick what makes sense. But can you briefly tell us how the company decided to implement the Sustainable Development Goals?
Absolutely. So in fact, this is a journey. We call it, it is our journey. And it has started almost like 6-7 years ago. Now I know that many of the companies, many of the brands, they're kind of connecting it with Great Reset or post-COVID, but you know, KERRY, you know better than me, it doesn't come up something like in a minute. It needs a lot of effort. It needs a lot of even training. And even as a fashion pro, I can tell you on Sundays, I've been sitting down and trying to read all the relevant articles, all the NGOs, you know, websites. How can I educate myself more? So we have started our journey in 2014, and we try to closely monitor the changing market and how we can contribute for that. And first of all, we are the participant of a United Nations Global Compact since April 2018, and we are listed in their website. The other thing is SDGs, United Nations SDGs, it is the world's best plan at the moment. Because, you know, we have only 10 years to come up to achieve or to realize UN 2030. So that means we have to be accelerating what we have been already doing. But that can't be done with a roadmap. And the other thing is, even you have a roadmap where you build your strategies, you have to prioritize them, because you can't do everything at once. There are 17 of them, and there are 169, as you have already mentioned, the Sustainable Development Associated Targets, as well as 231 key performance indicators. So there have been a really long line to come up with the, let me say, realized targets. The other thing is, when you're doing that, you know, prioritization, you have to be knowing who you are collaborating with. So we're going to be talking about collaboration, I know, but the thing is, it starts from the farmers and it continues down in the supply chain to the brands, and even with governmental agencies, academics, and whoever is on the street, because they are our end consumer. So if you want, I can show the short video where we can see very quickly how we connect it.
Yeah.
Maybe Joanne can help us to show the video.
Thank you so much for showing that. And it just really puts into visual context what you're up to. And that video showed that the organization definitely plans to focus on all 17. But I do know that SDG 5, gender equality, and SDG 6, clean water and sanitation, are priority goals to you. Tell us about that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, SDG 5, I can talk like hours, but of course I'm going to be like trying to...
90 seconds.
Okay, very, very short. So in 2019, we become the official signatories of United Nations Women Empowerment Principles, and we are listed on their website. This is the first thing to start, first of all, because again, as I have already mentioned, there's a roadmap, and we have to follow and build our strategies accordingly. The thing is, the most important thing when you think about, when you refer to SDG 5, first, you have to create equal opportunities both for men and women. So for us, both for our blue collar and white collar employees, we're trying to follow up a roadmap how we can really bring this up. The most important thing is in artistic millionaires, the workforce is divided into two, meaning like 50, we have a ratio of 50-50 of women and men workforce. The other thing is for the last almost like 5 years, we've been trying to recruit more women at the executive level. And I'm so proud to share here today that our head of sustainability and CSR, head of supply chain, and a lot of merchandisers are women. And then they've been adding a lot of value, keeping their work and life balance, working for the organization. The other thing is women empowerment initiatives. So we have been collaborating with a lot of NGOs from Pakistan and also, internationally. But I want to mention about a couple of them. But if somebody has a question, they can later on send me, and then I can send all the relevant information to them. The first one is the one that we run in collaboration with Gap Inc. This is this initiative is called Gap PACE program, Personal Advancement and Career Enhancement. And we are so proud that we are the first company from Pakistan to embark this journey, to embark that program. And it is all about, training the women, especially at the blue collar, about life skills, about, financial literacy, and some health-related topics. The second one is thanks to our partner Levi's Worker Wellbeing Program. So in fact, there are two things here. The first one is under the umbrella of Levi, we've been doing an adult literacy project that is sponsored by Levi's. And the other one is, one of them is adult literacy. The other one is financial literacy programs. Sorry, sometimes there have been so many, and I'm trying to, clear that in the best way. And again, a company, as everybody knows, bestseller from Denmark. We also collaborated with them in 2019. It has been a 1-year program, and it is all about, again, how we can help the women employees, especially education about personal hygiene, nutrition, maternal health, and family planning. In 2019, last year, we have done so many things. The first and the most important thing is we launched our diversity and inclusion strategy. This is an extremely important strategy. The thing is, we've been changing our facilities to help to disabled people and people who are less unfortunate, when they're doing their job. And also, we're trying to help transgender people as well as the acid burn victims. When it comes to acid burn victims, I want to also talk about another project, which we call Project Phoenix. This has been done with an NGO in Pakistan called Smile Again Foundation. And then we're trying to employ acid burn victims in our factories. For us, they're just a part of our team. So we are so proud to launch diversity and inclusion strategy and doing all these projects.
Thank you. Now, one thing I wanted to say before I move on to my last question about collaboration, and the audience are welcome to send in questions for you also. Could you tell us a little bit about, how you focus on SDG 6 with clean water and sanitation, as it's such a big one for the denim sector?
That is very true. So the most important thing is, how we collaborate SDG 6 with SDG 14, life underwater. So there have been a couple of things. The first thing is how we optimize water usage. The other one is how we recycle the water. When it comes to how we optimize water, it starts from the farm level, harvesting, the cultivation of the cotton, and it goes through all the way to the supply chain. So the most important thing here is the wet processes in denim manufacturing. And here the wet processes are rope indigo dyeing, fabric finishing, and also the garment manufacturing. So here, what we have been trying to do is we have to use smart fibers. We have to be, we are collaborating with, chemical companies and also innovation technology companies, how we can come up with like waterless dyeing or less water dyeing systems. And the other one is how we recycle the water, because this is currently the most important thing you have to deal as a denim company. We're so proud that we have the Pakistan's largest recycling unit, and currently we have been recycling 2 million gallons of water in our recycling facility. And day by day, it is growing because our manufacturing volumes are also increasing. These are the things that we have been doing in SDG 6. I don't know if you want me to add more information about the NGOs. I know we have limited time and I can talk for hours.
I think we have limited time, and I want to ensure that we also give some time if anyone wants to connect here and afterwards. And I see a question come in. If people could get in touch with you afterwards, I think would be incredible as well. And I would just like to end here with, my favorite goal is SDG 17, partnerships for the goals. And I really believe that this is the driver to the success of actually all of the goals, to create a positive fashion industry. And so you have shared there some amazing examples of your successful collaborations. Is there any ending advice you could give to the viewers here of why it is important to collaborate in what has always been seen as a competitive sector?
Exactly. Well, without collaboration, you're not able to bring anything, because you need your technology partners, you need your brand partners, you need your, fiber company partners. You all need, even you need universities, academics, to bring up and to, share this with all the industry. And when it comes to collaboration, KERRY, it comes at different levels. And we have kind of divided into like vendor level, brand level, NGO, NPO level, education and academics level, and also women empowerment related projects. I just want to mention about an extremely important collaboration. It is kind of something that has been launched around like 2017, but we have been continuing with that. And we believe that that was a game changer in the industry. Our collaboration with G-Star and Dye-Star. So here, especially for my student friends, this is so important. So G-Star is a denim company. Artistic Milliners is a fabric denim mill and in fact a vertical company, and Dye-Star is a chemical and technology company. So you see, hand in hand, in 2017, we join our forces and then we come up with the most sustainable jeans ever campaign. And here, there's another connection with that. It is not just a collaboration, that was also connected with Cradle to Cradle Institute, and that was the world's first gold certified denim. And then later on, we continued with that, but at the industry level, at the brand level, that is one of the best examples that I can give. Of course, at NGO level or at education level, we have so many, but again, it depends on our time. But
yeah, anyway. No, and this is great. And there is the question here, like, can people get in touch with you afterwards? Are you open to the team sharing your email for students to get in touch with questions? And I just want to answer a couple here before we have to go. I just want to say, Linda has mentioned this might be a silly question. There's no such thing as a silly question, and thanks for sending this in. You asked, does the conscious fashion campaign specifically focus on the denim industry or fashion as a whole? We're actually here really to collaborate and inspire the whole fashion sector to do better and how they can embrace the sustainable development goals to drive a much more fairer and better future for everybody. Now, I do see a couple of questions coming in here, but I know we're running out of time. So I want to ask Transformers, should we pick one or should we leave?
I like the question. Hi guys. You did very, very smart answers. And you're right, guys. This is the best business plan if you follow the UN sort of SDGs. If every single company had that as their main thing to follow, we'll all do amazingly well. I think there's one question that sort of Rizwan's asked. He goes, talking about sustainability and like sort of reducing carbon footprint. How does a small denim manufacturing company follow sustainability? And, you know, how can they start? And Kerry, it's pretty much small steps, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And EBRU, you can speak to this as well. But the reality is, it is all about finding out what makes sense for you in your region, what makes sense for your resources, because people become extremely overwhelmed by this and then think, I'm small, I can't even make an impact. And that's not true. It's just with the incremental starting actually then leads to transformational action. And the things that EBRU has shared that they have then gone on to do globally just shows what everybody could do together. And EBRU, I don't know if you want to speak more to that.
Yeah, here, you know what I can only say is, it doesn't matter either you're small or big. It doesn't really matter here. It's all about the contribution. And here, what I want to say is, if you need any help from our side, we will be more than happy to help you, because it's all about joining forces. It's all about helping each other.
Guys, thank you so much. We're going to have to leave it there. Guys, if there's any more questions that are unanswered, I'm sure Kerry and Ebru will go in and answer those questions for you. Thanks so much.